Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. Our mission is to see a world well led. And our strategy to get there? To empower leaders like you to lead every day. So let's get to work.
Do you have the people around your life to help you go where you're trying to go? Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. We're talking about teams today. I'm Randy Gravitt.
I'm Mark Miller.
And you're looking great today, Mark. I'm excited. We're a few days into this thing now. I don't know that we have a new show now. We're day 4. This is great. It's been fun this week. We've been unpacking the last couple days the idea that we have an operating system to help leaders get better. It's one of the things that we're passionate about. And today we're talking about improving team performance. You've ever been on a bad team?
Man, I've been on so many bad teams. And not in the workplace. I'm thankful.
You've been on some good teams.
I've been
in the
on some
workplace.
amazing teams in the workplace. But as a kid, I started playing sports when I was just little. I mean, some of my earliest memories in my life were sports and playing on teams. I even remember playing on multiple teams at the same time, rolling around in the back of the station wagon, changing uniforms. This is days before seatbelts, of course.
We had the old station wagon.
Yeah,
too.
I had to change uniforms because I'm playing on 2 different teams during one season. I just loved it. And it was interesting. It was one of those moments, I was probably 12 or 13 when it hit me that although I had been on a lot of teams, I'd never been on a good one. And then I began to wonder if it was me because I'd played a bunch of different sports. And then I decided I didn't care because I really loved the concept and the idea and what I believed teams could accomplish.
It is fun to be on a team, but it actually is fun when a team wins as well.
The
reason we have a team, let's kind of start there for everybody who's listening today. Like the reason we want to have a team is we're trying to accomplish something, right? We want results.
Yes. And again, I'm thankful I've had a lot of those experiences at Chick-fil-A. But let me do the bridge for you and for our audience. I played on all these crappy teams growing up, and then earlier in my Chick-fil-A career, we decided that we wanted to try and help the organization become a team-based organization, and I was given that assignment. And so put together a team of really smart people, and we began what ended up being about a 25-year journey of studying the best teams in the world, and we learned a ton.
Yeah, our business, we've worked with teams for the last decade. It's been so fun to get to see the different kinds of teams. And if you just pay attention to what's going on in the sports world now or in the business world, you can look. I mean, there's so many businesses that are just mediocre year after year after year. And then there's teams and organizations, you look at them, they seem like they win all the time. It's got to be more than they have the best players. Although we did find that one of the things that makes a great team is they're usually made up of really good.
The players do
talent.
matter.
Yeah, the team with the best players typically has a really good chance.
Well, they got a better shot for sure, and there's
really
data to support that.
Yeah, there really is. It's good.
But
you got to have talent.
You got to have talent. But here's the critical ingredient is that no team drifts to greatness. They must be led there, which is why I'm so excited to share what we have learned with the leaders who are listening to this podcast.
Yeah, so if anybody's listening today, I would just encourage them to start asking the question again, like where we started. Do you have the people around you to help you go where you're trying to go? And not only that, are they getting better? Because we did find that talent is the foundation of a great team.
It is.
But the really good teams they have a commitment to developing the skills of those people. And we've seen this over and over. The teams that have like a development plan mindset, a growth mindset, everybody's leveling up their skills. But we used the analogy a couple of days ago, the idea of you're in third gear in a 5-speed. What would happen if everybody on your team this year pushed the clutch and leveled up and got just 1 degree better or one, I guess that'd be 1 gear better, right?
Right.
If you have a team that's improving all the time, it makes it great. But if your people are not getting any better, you're just going through the motions. And how many businesses do we know that are just busy? They got a lot. I mean, there's a lot of throughput going on, or there's a lot of games coming up, or whatever they have in different places. It's easy to just the work becomes the work. We don't work on getting better to help us with the work.
Yeah.
A team that's growing their skill really is creating a competitive advantage.
They're better positioned to win. But you've mentioned 2 of 3 critical components.
There's one more.
Well, there is one more. And here's the deal. Most of the teams I've worked with for 40 years are focused on talent and skills. Now, again, some of them aren't focused on either, and they're awful. But you just mentioned, well, if they'll get better at their skills, they can get better. And yes, that is true. A team that has talented people who are growing their skills can become a good team. But that's their ceiling.
There is actually some rare air.
Yeah, they'll never become a great team.
Yeah.
And that third ingredient or element is what we call community. And it's actually when the team becomes a place that people care about each other as well as the work. And you can do that strategically. You can do that purposefully. But building community has to become part of your strategy.
Yeah. This idea of knowing each other and caring about each other and serving each other and celebrating and grieving. I mean, there's a lot of ways.
Yeah, a lot goes in there.
That goes into that definition of that community. And that's really cool. So I guess the second question would be then, if you're listening, are you and your team together? It's one thing to be, I've got the right people, but are we really together? Are we doing what we can to close the gap between really good and that rare air of being great, what we would call a high performance team? And it's amazing when you start looking. Let's use the sports world here for a second. When you start looking at the sports world, rarely does the highest payroll win. It's the team that has some crazy handshake, or their fans are. Remember a couple of years ago, we're Atlanta guys. When the Braves won the World Series, the whole community's wearing pearls around their neck, and they got their hats on backwards. All the teams have really good players, but when those teams get playing together and galvanize, it is amazing what can really happen when you have community. So those results become much more available when people are working together.
Yeah, let me give you one more quick story. Some people believe that the Bears under Mike Ditka, whatever year that was, 85, the 85 Bears. Some believe they were the greatest football team in the history of the sport. Okay, we could debate that, but they were really, really, really good.
They were good.
And Ditka was asked if he could explain why that might be true. So the sportscaster wasn't going to give him benefit of the doubt, but he said, okay, if that were true, Coach, why would that have been true? And he said 2 things. They learned to play together, and they learned to love each other.
Yeah, that's so good.
They had the skills, and they built community, and they were unstoppable.
It's amazing when some of the businesses I've worked with, I've talked to leaders all the time about just what you said there. And you think that sounds soft on the front side, and then leaders will come to me and go, that's actually the hardest part for me, is to get that love part right. But when teams love each other and they really are together, it is they do get to that rare air. I mean, it's pretty cool when you think about it. So today I would just encourage you, as we wrap this thing up, to do something that'll maybe reveal where your team is. Go to leadeveryday.com/teams, and we've got a free assessment there. Encourage you to go take that assessment. It's going to give you some things that you can do, first steps that you can take with your team after you answer those questions. I think that'll be a good little tool for you to use, trying to give you all kind of practical stuff. But again, I would ask you to ask yourself those questions. Do I have the people around me to go where I'm trying to go? And are we going together? I think if we can get that part right, we really have a chance to dominate, because it really is better together. When we have a focus on results, and we get the talented people around us, we level up their skills, and that community exists, we really are positioned to win, which is really what we're trying to help people do here when we think about what's going on with the show. So hope you'll join us tomorrow. Hope you'll continue to level up your own leadership, not just personally, but at a team level today. We're going to talk to you tomorrow about the organizational side of your leadership. I hope you'll join us for that. Remember, the best leaders lead every day.